Hello and good morning. I said it's 10 o'clock. Henning here from HP42. I'm going to make a quick little video about a couple of things that arrived. Instead of just unboxing them and not telling you, I think it makes sense to tell you because the company was nice enough to send me the stuff. Now, I recently got a Mini Moog Model D, one of the last ones they will ever make because the NOS parts are no longer available. So thank you to Moog Music for working with me on that. That was a dream piece of gear. You can't even imagine how dream. But I don't have an adequate keyboard stand for it because the X stands that you get to accommodate that width, it has to be pretty high and then you're playing up here, so that's not really good. So I got a stand back there. I don't know which one that is. We're going to talk about that in a second, but we're going to talk about another box that's behind me. I might or might not have, can't talk about it, tried to do some captures. Can't talk about it. And I borrowed this Da Capo re-amplification box from Palmer, which according to the tests that the people that I borrowed it from made, is the best one to use. In doing the capture process, I used other ones that I have and wasted hours because the results weren't there. Those were high-end, expensive boxes. And in the end, I don't know why, but the results just weren't there. If I was trying to do this, which I'm not saying that I am, can't talk about it. But this isn't mine. So I asked the nice folks from Adam Hall, hey, can I get one of these? And they said, well, this is not the one we still make. We now make it look different. So let's look at it. Adam Hall is right around the corner from me, about 40 minutes, not even. And yet, instead of just going there and picking shit up, they're still sending me stuff, which is, very nice. It's a very impressive facility that they have there. Oh, big box for a small box. Look how tiny it is. So now this is from the River series. I don't know why, but they make all these really, really cool DI boxes, reamp boxes, convertery boxes, all the stuff that is considered utility stuff. And it's good. I have an actual stereo DI over there still in the box. This Da Capo reamplification box is now the Palmer Trave because they're all named after German rivers. And I'm trying not to laugh because it's the dumbest idea ever in marketing to name DI boxes after small German rivers that nobody has ever heard of. But now, instead of being called the Da Capo reamplification box, it's called the Trave reamplification box. Okay, well, fine then. It says, for routing your signal from the DAW or mixer to your guitar or bass amp, converts balanced signal to unbalanced instrument signal. That's the whole idea. You're taking an XLR line or a balanced mic level thing, and you're converting it, or line level actually, and you're converting it to an instrument level. You still might have to adjust it in terms of the output so that it's really truly what the amp wants to see, but this is what you need for that. Perfect impedance matching. Retains your sound clean and pure. Anyone would write that on the box. Switchable input level. Continuously adjust output level. Solid casing made of aluminum and steel. Aluminium. Now, we got to check out if this has it. It should. This has a ground lift. Now, I stupidly, if I had tried this, which I'm not saying I did, I was getting hum. I was trying to ground lift it, right? So I was switching this, but I wasn't switching this. I wasn't reading. I was actually changing the -10 and +4. So I was actually changing the input level. That's a big no-no because that massively affects what you're doing. But I was stupid. It was on the table and I'm like, oh, there's hum. Let me ground lift, click. Oh, nothing happens. Click, 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 click. What click did I leave it on? I don't know. So I had to redo hours. If I had tried to, I'm not saying I can't talk about it. Yeah, So read what you're clicking. Okay, let's look at the Trave. I don't want to break it. Doesn't this just come out? Yes, it does. It's nice packaging with the rounded offedness. Ooh, and it's all cardboard. All the protective stuff is cardboard and not styrofoam. People, you learn. Nice. Only takes years of bitching about it for companies to hear. Little instruction manual, QR code for the manual. Reamplification box. Oh, it's got a big ass, very rugged sticker so that you could label it in case you had 5 of them on stage. This is good shit. This is clever. And then we have feet, which I will attach to it because it will sit on my table in case I might or might not attempt app captures. Can't talk about it. Trust me, at some point I can talk about it. Right now, can't talk about it. Can I get this back in there? He asked her. It's tight. Come on. This is to be taken apart, but not to be reassembled. Here's the Trave. Nice. It's a photo piece of aluminium with a little bit of a slit that shows you just some orange. It's a nice design. Only that it's called the Trave. So we got a level here. Output. Why does it have an output level? Oh, this one has an output level. I guess so. And the level was all the way up. So that's where we're putting it. The old pot feels a bit more solid than this, but it might be that this is a bigger knob and I have just more force. And then we got ground lift, -10 +4 XLR input. You can't read, and let's see from here, ground lift and level is labeled on the top. I just didn't read it because I'm dumb. On this, it's not labeled on the top. So if this one was on the table, I would have to fiddle around and then read and then push. Well, Palmer, I know it's prettier like this, but it's a DI box. Pretty isn't really part of the equation here. It would be nice to have this labeled. And you know what? I will do this right now and void the warranty. I have a golden paint marker, because that's important shit. So that's level and ground. Very important to see from the top, which, you just find out when you are using it in the heat of the moment. So it's very important for me to have these labels because I messed it up in the past. It's a bit narrower now, a bit longer. Still does the same old job, just in a new case. So if you're looking for a reamp box, based on the people that told me and that I might or might not have worked with, this is the one to use. With everything on the market, that's the one that was suggested to me, and that's the one that might or might not have been used. Okay, wanted to make a short video. Well, now we have a long video, but I also have to put the feet on, or I forget. Because as a tabletop unit, it makes sense to have rubber feet. On stage, these will likely go bye-bye within one concert. Did I just rub the paint? Labeled, feeded it, mine. Nice. Let's get to what I actually really wanted, which is the stand. So how is Palmer related to gravity? Gravity stands and stuff. And Palmer DI boxes, they made amps, but not anymore. They made pedals, but probably not anymore. They're flip-flopping around. Just like LD systems and Cameo lighting and so on, they're all brands of Adam Hall. And then Adam Hall makes Adam Hall branded rack gear, which I have a lot of. Thank you, Adam Hall. That really helped me when I built the new studio. And, you know, they make power supplies for racks. They make lots of cables, patch cables. They make the Adam Hall, the angle, what's it called? The flip flap, slip swatch, flipjack. It's a cable with a flippable jack. Okay. Apparently you can. There was one with a scissor, which I didn't get, or maybe it's still on the way. Who knows? I wanted to test both. This is the KSTS 01B. That's a keyboard stand. Super sturdy construction, suitable for heavy keyboards, highly adjustable, very foot included, whatever that means. I just needed to hold the friggin' Moog and not too high and not be a huge stand. That's the whole idea. How much assembly is required here? I wanted this to be a short video, and in the end, I'm gonna assemble a keyboard stand for an hour. But you know what? It's fully okay if you just turn this off now and you do something with your life that's valuable. Like play with your kids, throw a ball for the dog, which depending on the dog, don't do that because it's psychologically actually damaging. I heard. I love to throw the ball for the dog, but it's not good for them. Stuff you learn. Okay, we have. There's something more in there. I have a piece. So my point is, nobody should watch this. But it's my job to film shit when it comes in and talk about it. You're just advertising. Yeah, no shit. What the? Is this there's a foot. But then you can push this and then this comes out. Why does this come out? Is this for height? But I mean, how do you... What am I looking at here? Do I actually need a... you can screw this up. And slightly... this actually is a height adjustment. But you have to... Oh my god, it's... So, there is a screw here, right? And you can height adjust it by probably a little bit less than a centimeter. So not majorly. More just like for if it wiggles. And I think you're supposed to screw on top here, but you're not gonna do that. You have to take this out. Yet, it's nice when we have the rubber bands everywhere in green. And usually they actually give you black ones as well if you want to be super lame. See what we got in the bag. As predicted, super lame black rubber bands if you don't want the gravity neon green. Why would you do that? If you're lame, that's what you do. Then we have oh my god, seriously, gravity. The rubber things on the things that hold the things, the anti-slip thingies at the end, are green. They give you black ones as well for the super lame people. There is something to clip on cables, 2 cable clippies. And then we have 2 screwy innies. Do I actually need to read the manual for this? I might have to. I don't know. So you have to take this apart apparently. This is... Oh! Something popped. I'm breaking it! What did I do? What did I do? Okay, it's spring-loaded for some reason. And then this goes on here. And then this fastens. But it should do that on top. Which means I do have to take that off, right? Think so. That's a bit annoying. Okay, well, they have a diagram. So we're gonna put this here. Then the main part. then this, then the spring, then the other bit, flip it around. Really, they couldn't have made the box the tiniest bit bigger so I don't have to go through this. Oh, this is nice because they have gears in them, so they absolutely will not move around. And then you wait, I did it the wrong way, did it? Yeah. The hole needs to be on top, she said, or something. Wait, that can't be. No, I'm doing something wrong here because now I can't put a keyboard on it because what am I doing wrong? Okay. And then the hole is for the screw from the top. Oh boy. So this goes at the bottom. That whole screw bit goes through here. That's why it's detented. Okay. See, now the screw right here is... You can't see anything. You put this at the bottom. Feels like that was unnecessary to save 4 centimeters of packaging. But okay. Now I know what to do. Okay, onto the legs, which have markings on them so you can put them in the perfect position. And I want it, about actually pretty low. So we're talking this here-ish. Oh God, it's falling. I'm not doing this right. So we go with minus, what do I do? -4. Maybe you're not supposed to do this by yourself. Let's go with -4 for now. I understand the other bit. It's supposed to have this thing on it to screw it in and out. Only the other side already lost that bit. Somewhere. Let me see if it's anywhere. Not that I care too much, but no, it simply was never there, so it's just missing a piece. That's the issue. That thing that's supposed to be the screw is missing. Would I send it back for that? No. Is it now annoying because I might have to contact someone and say, can I have that little piece? Which of course they don't have. So what do you do in that situation? I don't know. Disassemble it, send the whole thing back and get a new one? You could do that. In the end, it's just annoying. That's what it is. You pull it out. That's how it is. Where are we? We're at exactly 4. Perfect. So you open it a little bit and then you pull it out and adjust the height. Nice. That is pretty much exactly what I wanted. Just enough footprint. Look at it. Just enough footprint to hold the Mini and nothing else. Absolute perfection. Minus the missing twisty doohickey. And then the super old techie holdy uppy thing. And bam, this is perfect. Why do I even have this? Well, because I want to do a sound design series where I explain to you what's an oscillator, what's modulation, what is an LFO, different types of oscillators, what's a filter and why, how do you combine oscillators, what's an ADSR, because a lot of these things are relevant for guitar effect programming as well, not just for synthesizers, but we all at some point might actually encounter some form of synthesizer or keyboard, and knowing this stuff can be very helpful. And I studied it. I have the quintessential thing to show you on, so why not do that series? And obviously for that series I need a stand, and Gravity was nice enough to send me one minus a little screw. Now I can put these on. Actually, can I? No. Are these made for the big thing? Nope. Could be. We'll put one to the left. One. They seem smaller than the legs, but I think they might be made for the legs. Okay. And then all this black stuff we're not using because we're cool enough for the green. Thank you, Rich. We have a 25-minute video that nobody should have watched. Okay. That's what it is. I'm out. Links below. Animals at the end.